Hello, this is Shantae from Shaketi Ed. Okay, so I came up with this. This is something I guess I've always done. Like when people are like, I've had a couple teachers say, "Hey, what they were in college, like, what advice would you give to new teachers?" Well, this is my list. This is because it's Shaketi Ed, and I don't give not two fucks. It's like the advice that you would give to new teachers. First off, create something for yourself outside of your classroom. So like, when you first start, it's almost like, you want to get into it, you want to get in the groove, you have to learn. So you are going to sometimes submerge yourself in things that you need to learn. And that just makes you a good teacher. Like, you are going to want to learn. That first year, if you're teaching at one grade, you want to learn and then kind of try to stick with the same grade. So the next year, whatever you learn, you can go ahead and try to perfect it. And you see, because then you'll start to grasp like what it is you need to teach. I know I had one teacher who was like just coming out of school, whatever, and she was trying to pass her teaching test, and she was trying to give me advice, and it's like, but I've been a teacher, sweetie. I've been a teacher for you don't want to be like, but I've been a teacher for 10 years, because sometimes it'll be like a white girl. You like, but I've been teaching, love, and so she just came and just like, okay, well, trying to treat me as if I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, wait a minute, I've been a teacher. Like, I'm just doing this job because I need to finish school right now. I was getting my master's, and it's like, I want to take a break, So I'm still like, wait a minute, sweetheart, I'm trying to tell her, because one advice I gave her was, she's like, well, let's make all the posters for the beginning of the school year, because last year they had trouble with verbs or whatever and nouns. And I was like, wait a minute, you're not going to have the same issue like that with the next group of students, because verbs and nouns could be like, just because the teacher had a substitute for a couple of days, and then when she got back, she just went ahead and moved on. It could be so many different issues. Maybe the teacher wasn't explaining it right. It could have been the teacher's first year. It could have been so many different things. They probably believed in the teacher, and the teacher taught them all this good stuff. It's like so many different types of situations where it's like verbs and not, so I'm like, no, we don't need to make that, because they might not have the same problem. Like, you're going to make different things for the classroom, and you're going to make them ahead of time, but only like a couple weeks ahead of time. In a couple weeks you're going to be teaching these things, and you want to get ahead of the game. Then you're going to go ahead and try to download or make your anchor charts. But making them at the very beginning of the school year, you might not even want to make the same anchor chart. And sometimes it's even better, like especially with math and science, to make the anchor chart as you go along. Like, it's not even good for you. Like reading, I would say you could probably prefab a anchor chart, but with math and science, it could be iffy, because you want them to understand the vocabulary and why they use the vocabulary. And sometimes it's better when you're working out the math problem. It's like, okay, well, when you divide that, you use the divisor and the dividend, and you want to label those things as you go along. So that's my first thing. Is like, you just have to, I don't know, in the end, make sure that you have something outside of the classroom, but at the same time, that first year, immerse yourself so you understand what's going on, so you understand where to find everything, so you understand where those things go and what they do. Try to utilize the mentor and all that different stuff. Number 2, drink, party, work out. I don't know if you drink. Even if you don't drink, don't start drinking if you don't drink. But yoga is my party. Working out really did help me. I'm going to say to create something outside of the job for myself, because if not, I would have been pissed off. Like, administration will piss you off sometimes, because you'd be like, well, you doing all the right stuff, or it's the treatment that they have for somebody else that you like, no, that ain't right. Like, what you doing right now is not right. Like, well, you didn't do this and that person didn't do this and you need to have this paperwork in on time, and none of it will make sense. So every year they might change the type of paperwork they use, and it's like, well, did the other paperwork work last year? Or, what did we do what we did last year? Like, why is this now something different? And it's almost like it's a school called New City School in St. Louis. They've been doing like the same, I don't think the same curriculum, but the same type of curriculum, like over so many years. And the teachers have been there since the 70s. Like, they have not even left this place. So if you think about that, what is it that's like, sometimes we need to look at something that's working in order to understand what works inside the classroom, like, or inside the school. Because right now, teaching is so like, let's do this or let's do that, let's save a buck, let's not give them what they're worth, let's give them what we can. And so it's a lot that goes into teaching, especially as far as your emotions go. And I don't think that people understand teaching is an emotional job. That's why all these quotes and stuff, those who can't do teach. No, those who teach love. You actually have love towards what you're doing. Like, it's like, I'm so serious. Like, I hate when people, well, they can come in here for a check. Some of them can, but they don't last, because it's like, okay, well, I'm not here for the check, really. Sometimes people are actually there to actually teach, more than the subject. So it's like the education system is going to lose people that actually want to teach more than just the subject. And then right there, that's where your teaching, that's where it's going to mess up at. This is where it's about to flip, because you already got students who don't know how to act. Their parents don't want to teach them how to act because their parents had a certain situation. And that's the one thing I experienced in Missouri. Their parents had a certain situation in their past. So then when they come to you, they think that you trying to be like the teacher was to them. And it's like, no, teaching is totally, totally different. And like, people have their hang-ups about special education. Special education is not the same thing. Just because if your child is gifted, your child is in special education. Special education is any education outside of the regular curriculum of a teacher. That's it. So that's what special education is. So for a person to then therefore think that it's like just like it was in the past, it's not. Sometimes kids need resources. They need more time to finish their work. Some kids have a 504 where they have special plans in place to help them with certain disabilities and different things like that. So it's almost like, you cannot I don't know. What I'm saying is, like, be sure to work out, drink, part, whatever the hell you do it, because man, they'll try to test you to the like, it's like push you to the limit, and it's like, why are you pushing me? Like, what's the point? Like, what's going on? And, you want to like kind of lean to like, what's going on? What's wrong with you? Like, is it okay? Like, what is it? Like, you trying to work the workforce out, or what you trying to do? Like, y'all trying to turn it into a robotic system, or, are you trying to, what is it that's going on? Like, you just be confused, because you're like, okay, I came to work, I'm having trouble with Johnny. You gonna come in here and tell me that I didn't control Johnny doing my lesson plan, and then, teaching the lesson. Like, that's maybe how you gotta control Johnny. It's like they don't take into factor all the different situations that could be going on in the classroom with a child. They'll come in and take points off for a kid, and you just like, that don't make sense to me. So when that happens, you gotta drink, party, and work out. I mean, because that's the whole thing. You also, constructive criticism. If you're not good at constructive criticism, take an acting class. I don't know, like, that's the work. Like, unless, I don't know, I don't think it'll work for everybody. But for real, constructive criticism is just like, okay, maybe you need to do this, or maybe you need to do that, or maybe, like, it's sometimes they'll come in and they'll be like, well, you didn't do this right, and until you get to the point where you just like, what, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I need to do to get through my day. Like, y'all just on some, because sometimes that's all it takes. Depending on what kind of class you have, you're gonna have to do whatever you need to do to get through your day. And then somebody coming there criticizing you, you like, Did you see the little boy acting out? Did you need to take him outside the classroom, talk to him? You saw his behavior, so now what? Like you have some kids that'll step on you, and man, it's ridiculous the stuff that some kids do, and then the parents don't have anything to say about what they're doing. So it's like, okay, you cannot. I don't know. It when it comes to a point of just like, okay, wait a minute, are you supporting me as a teacher? Do you support the teachers or do you support the students? And most of the time you'll find out people will support the students in reprimand to like, okay, well, trying to say that you're not a good teacher, or they'll support the students. It'll be like, okay, well, let me find this situation and use this situation to say that you didn't deserve something, because like it'll be all this different stuff. Find another, like it's like you have to find somewhere else to go because that person is directly not liking you or trying to follow a system that doesn't work, instead of thinking, man, you know what, she did a good job, she moved this guy over here, she implemented this. It's like they come in with a negative point of view instead of coming in with a positive point of view. When every day you coming in with a positive point of view and they negativity is draining your damn positivity, because it's like the negative is outweighing, because you telling me that I'm not good enough. When I wake up in the morning, it's like, okay, I'm happy, I'm ready to go, I'm here for you. Then the class come in, they mess up everything, they not positive. You gotta sit a kid now, you gotta roll around with this kid, you gotta do this, you just gotta do all this stuff. And then they come, well, it wasn't good enough. You should have told Johnny to stand up instead of sit down. It'd be all kind of stuff. So in that case, it's like you gotta find like some kind of way to get through the day. And when I say eat, what she say? Eat, pray, love. You gotta do all that. You gotta eat good. You gotta meditate. All that stuff, and you still love, but it's hard to love if like you in a situation where somebody always looking to see what is she doing. I know she did something negative. I know it. She's not doing it right. We just like, okay, but I am, and you shouldn't always have to argue your point as far as that goes. Why? For what reason? What else? I guess my last tip for new teachers is just I know I'm saying take care of yourself, really. Like, I am saying take care of yourself, but the other thing I'm saying is what am I trying to get to with the last point? Okay, anyway, take care of yourself. And the last point is like, whatever your passion is outside of teaching. I know I just said, hey, have something outside to go to, but wherever it is outside of teaching that you want to do, then do that. Like make sure you have preparation for that. That's all I can say. Like it's like, I don't know what it is, and I think I've already said it too. I don't know if I'm doing this one already, but it's like, don't believe the hype, because it's like they just, I don't know. It's easier said than done, but yeah, don't believe the hype, and I think you'll be fine. Just relax, relate, and release. Relax, relate, release. What is that from? What is it? A Different World. Relax, relate, release. You have to relax, relate, and release. Relax, sit back, think about it, relate. Think about the person that's saying it to you until like it just become ridiculous. Because some of it gonna become ridiculous. Release. Like, yeah, just get it out. Like, say something. Express yourself in some kind of way. You don't have to actually say something to them, because sometimes I don't think people realize it. Just because you're a good teacher don't mean that you really want to talk to adults about stupid shit. Like, you don't want to, I think some advice that somebody gave me was like, don't go into the break room. Like, you don't need to be in the break room talking and discussing everything they talking about. And when you get in the break room, you will realize that's what you know what they talking about. Like, When you get in there, you'll realize what they saying. Like, it'll be like, you know, conversations that you really don't want to be a part of. So people do have problems with administrators, and they probably need to take that stuff up with their mentor or whatever. But it's like they're